78% of suicide rates worldwide are men. What can we do to help them? Stop downplaying their mental problems. Allow men to express sorrow without shaming them and instead supply support. The real men don't cry idea kills. Stop making men's self-worth be all about their physical possessions and assets. Well, in America, Medicaid doesn't pay well for mental health services, and places a lot of restrictions on mental health services. If Medicaid, which provides insurance for a lot of the working poor, could actually reimburse decently, mental health professionals would be incentivized to start seeing Medicaid patients. Many of them don't, because Medicaid is a pain to deal with. So basically, if Medicaid could actually obey the law Patrick Kennedy passed, that would be awesome. Stop being assholes to each other. Let them feel emotion. Men have the same capacity to feel emotion as women, and men should have equal rights to express emotion as women. Men should not feel pressure to hold in their emotions. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to vent, vent. If you need a therapist, get therapy. Encourage ways of deriving self-worth that are not related to income or station. Listen to them. We have feelings too. Australia spending more money on mental health than defense. Schools aren't offering help to those in need either. Start addressing toxic/fragile masculinity. A lot of men feel like they can't talk about their feelings or do certain things that would otherwise make them happy because that's not what men do. So do you. Be happy. Do what makes you happy. Gender is but a social construct and you do not have to adhere to it. Stop demonizing men/masculinity in the media. Equality in divorce laws. Unfortunately, this is largely due to the expectations surrounding men, as they are meant to show no emotions and man up. There isn't a single solution, but we can make a difference for people close to us by being more considerate and understanding. Some suggestions I have seen are brilliant. The small communal things can make the biggest impact to someone. Keep going, everyone. I guess for society in general. Stop telling men to fit one little thing, like either completely intruding yourself in masculine traits or completely give them up entirely. Like, if a boy wants to play with Barbies but also wears his Tonka shirts like it's nothing, why should anyone bother? Let people be people, as long as no one's getting hurt. Stop assuming that every man is some violent egotistical maniac. Look how a lot of male abuse victims are treated when dealing with the police. Kind of an add-on to the last one, but stop assuming that masculinity equals toxicity. Why people assume highly feminine people can't be dickbags as well is beyond me. Good and evil don't discriminate, you know. Encourage and help men when they ask and accept help. Allow men to bond with each other and stop assuming that platonic and friendly equals gay. And even if actual homosexual acts arise, why should anyone care? Allow and comfort men when they are in pain. That includes sharing their feelings, crying, etc. Basically, treat men as equals. I know men and women are biologically different, but there's a massive difference between genital hygiene and development versus seeing who likes this or that activity or hobby. Obviously, I'm probably missing some more, but this is what I have in mind. You think a lot of women have personality disorders? That's a pretty bold statement to make. Take away the lethal guns they use to end their lives. Remove the stigma from men talking about feelings. That is all. I'd love to find a way. Normalize cuddling with the homies. Listen. My God, listen. As a man suffering from bipolar disorder, I hate talking about how I feel at the best of times, because everyone already knows about my problems. But when I am talking about my mental health, please listen. I'm talking because it's killing me inside, and I don't want it to. Get rid of the stigma that men are supposed to suppress their emotions. If we cry, we are pussies. If we complain, then we need to stop whining and man up. The double standard is incredibly strong here. I had a patient tell me my eyes were a lovely shade of shit stain green, and I still remember it 6 years later. Not only because it was a good burn compliment, but because men just don't get any form of compliments often. I generally make it a point to compliment my wife several times a week. We're going out? You look fantastic. She just got back from the gym. Booty on point, babe, etc. She also can't walk 5 feet without some rando complimenting her. I get about 1 or 2 compliments a year at most from her. Generally I have to solicit them, too. I've even discussed it with her several times. Hasn't changed anything. Edit, don't like to edit, but 1. I love my wife, and my wife loves me. This was only highlighting the men compliment issue. 2. People using this as an anti-woman red pill nonsense jumping off point need to chill the fuck out, and self-reflect why all the advice I'm getting to passive-aggressively or gaslight my wife into thinking I don't love her or don't find her attractive anymore as a way to elicit compliments from her is the source of your interpersonal relationship issues with the women in your life. I haven't seen anyone bring up the atrocity that is the family courts yet, but I'm sure those have some impact. Even though women file something like 80% of divorces, it's almost always men who get shafted over it. You take a man's kids, his house, and half of his income for the rest of his life, and that really hurts him. Listen and validate their feelings. We need to stop thinking that men are these tough invincible people because they need love and validation too. Make it more socially acceptable for men to show their emotions. Stop teaching us that being emotional is bad. Stop the ideas that a man has to do it all. Stop telling us we should all have superhero bodies. Treat us like humans, who feel and think, instead of tools to be used and then discarded. Make it be known from an early age that it is okay to let your emotions out and that you don't have to hold everything in. For me, it's lack of purpose or deep connection. Will be 40 soon and have been in a relationship literally only 18 months of my life, combined. As I get older, every meaningful relationship I have fades as I get replaced by their own families. Doing things alone are very hit or miss, depending on the activity. Lots of times you just feel like the creepy old guy if you're going alone, and trying to talk about it makes you sound like a whiny asshole. Largely feel like there's nothing left to do except wither away, so why not shave off the shitty years at the end? You can delete this and resubmit it with a headline that makes sense. You're lowering my quality of life and the at least 6,000 who upvoted this aren't helping. Fund mental health. I've been trying for months to get a session with a counselor or therapist or someone. I'm not going for something specific, really just for a head check. I have good insurance, I live in a major city. Can't get a single one to call me back. This is such bullshit. Damn, that's tough shit, bro. Message me if you ever wanna talk. Raise all our children in an environment where talking about they feel is important and validated. It starts as children. Make it more socially acceptable for men to express their feelings. It's okay to be sad, it's okay to show it, it's okay to ask for help. Your emotions don't make you a pussy. Actually deal with it instead of man up. Out of those who attempt suicide, the majority of those who complete it are men, mostly due to the ownership of firearms. However, the majority of those attempting suicide and suffering from mental and personality disorders are still women. Therefore, this issue is not how we can help men. We need to address this for both genders. Stop shaming us for being men. Show men it's okay to be sad and cry and that it doesn't make them any less of a man. A lot of men suppress their feelings and it becomes much worse if they keep on suppressing them until it's too much. Also do social get-togethers like watching sports or gaming or anything they want to do. It's always nice to have good friends to confide in. Make all men into women. Make the suicide rate higher in women. Stop shaming men for sharing their feelings. Great question, Op. You guys are breaking my heart. I'm in your side and always have been. Hugs to you all. Make it socially acceptable for men to talk about emotions without being mocked or told to man up. Have more women. Statistically it should alter the average at some point. /s. Wish I could tell you. Find a way to make it stop feeling like you're alone, and constantly about to lose everything. Bring back masculinity and teach our boys they don't have to conform to PC culture to please everyone. Provide more economic opportunities for women so the economic burden of households does not fall disproportionately on men. Vote more women into government and positions of power. My fiancée manages our home very well and vastly better than I ever could or did on my own. I support her and we discuss everything equally, but she is simply just better at organizing, planning, and scheduling.